Up front at 9:30 tonight, a possible terrorist living in Oklahoma City is now on the run.
And while investigators hunt for him, police have been busy trying to stop the next big terrorist attack right here in the metro. Fox 25's Nick Winkler investigates terrorism in Oklahoma. Nick.
Investigators believe terrorists are living in Oklahoma City and using our highways to plan and pay for their next deadly attack. To stop an attack, our police are being retrained, but terrorists are retooling as well. It was from this Oklahoma City living room federal agents eavesdropped on a possible terrorist. You believe your neighbor was plotting a terrorist attack?
I really do.
Afterward, this man says his Middle Eastern neighbor left home in a hurry. Shoes, mail, even children's toys, all left behind. Grass in the backyard has not been mowed in some time. Weeds are overgrown, and back here underneath this slab of concrete and all these rocks, it appears something has been buried in the backyard. Afterward, our source says his phone started ringing. He says investigators wanted to know where his neighbor had gone.
I said, great, I've got terrorists living across the street.
The FBI will not tell us how many people in Oklahoma City are being investigated for terrorism, but we know it's happening.
It's eye-opening, it's frightening.
Oklahoma County District Attorney David Prater says this summer police stopped a car here on its way from Phoenix to New York City.
Ended up being 2 females in the front seat and a baby in a car seat in the back.
Police say in the trunk they found a suitcase full of baby clothes and 25 pounds of heroin investigators believe is from Afghanistan, which is often sold to pay for terrorist activity.
25 pounds of uncut, pure-grade heroin would bring in millions and millions of dollars, on the street. So that's money that a terrorist cell could use.
Prater credits good police work for the bust, and now nearly every one of Oklahoma City's 1,000 police officers are being trained to stop the next big terror attack.
If you talk to police chiefs, what keeps them up at night is suicide bombers.
David Sid studies terrorism at the Memorial Institute for the Prevention of Terrorism, which sits right next to the Murrah Bombing Memorial. Sid is a former FBI agent and believes terrorists are planning to use roadside bombs like the ones in Iraq here.
In its death throes, Al-Qaeda will become barbarously violent, I believe, because that's the way they believe that they will win. They see us as a society averse to casualties. They don't believe we have the moral fiber and the grit to fight, and so they think killing us in large numbers will lead to our capitulation.
Sid says evidence indicates terrorists will blow up several soft targets at once, like schools, malls, or sporting events. It's why Sid is now training police to quickly spot the preparation work terrorists do before carrying out a bombing campaign. But now there's a new problem.
Nowadays we have Islamophobia.
Saad Mohammed at the Islamic Society of Oklahoma City says when some see an Arab, they immediately think terrorist, but investigators warn the face of terror is constantly changing.
We know that they are recruiting non-Muslim, non-Arabic individuals to their cause.
Whites, blacks, Arabs, and others worship at the Islamic Society, which says it has helped police with investigations.
No matter what religion or race a person is, if they do something bad as a Muslim, it's my duty to make sure that person is brought to justice.
Back at the empty home where federal agents were eavesdropping, neighbors who say they've been questioned by investigators are concerned.
And I think it's kind of scary at the same point, but she said that the safest place to be is next to a terrorist, not in another area, because they won't ever do anything to their home surrounding.
They say investigators want to tear down and dig up part of the home since it was renovated right before the man left town.
And find out if they hadn't converted this place into, like, to store weapons or bomb-making material or what.
And here's another concern. Maps found in those suspected drug runners' car indicate that they were strategically planning to use the turnpike. You see, state law says police trained to spot drug traffickers are not allowed to patrol the turnpike since it is partially private. Analysts are urging law enforcement to work together so terrorists do not exploit this issue. Jamie?
Nick, very interesting. Thank you. Well, you can read more on the Afghanistan heroin bust and why police officers are not allowed to patrol the turnpike in tomorrow's edition of the Oklahoma Gazette.